Hello and welcome back to another day on the island hidden in the fog. As promised in last week's video, today we are going to be redoing the entire neighborhood. Hello Vesta. I guess someone just wanted to show off their new handbag. Anyways, let's get started by clearing out these trees and making room for the new neighborhood. I'm not worried about saving these trees for later since I do have access to Treasure Island, so we're just going to be cutting these all down to make it a lot easier. And the trees are gone. I'm going to do a quick little run around of the area that we have so far, so you can kind of see the space we're working with. This cliff line back here will actually get pushed back quite a bit, so that way we can make more room for the neighborhood and for the flower field that I want to put behind the neighborhood. Now let's map out the new neighborhood. We're still going to be having 6 houses in this neighborhood, but I do want to make it 2 levels tall. The second level of the neighborhood will have only 2 houses on it, and it'll be in roughly an L-shaped cliff. But before I can start building the cliff, I need to map out exactly where the other 4 houses will be placed, so that way I can build the cliff around them. Hopefully this will save me some time, and I won't be building and demolishing and rebuilding the cliff a bunch of times. Well, this is like the perfect house location right next to the river with a decent yard size, maybe a garden. I want a cozy neighborhood, so the houses are going to be kind of close together, but they'll still have their own yards, and I think in the middle we'll put like a little town square or something. Okay, well apparently I can't lay pathing and talk at the same time. I'll check back in once I've got a few more of the houses laid out. Rodeo, you better not be trying to leave right now. You are our first dreamy on this island and you are not allowed to leave, sir. Hopefully he's just thinking about how he's gonna decorate his yard in his new location. Oh good, he just wants to come up with a nickname for me. Let's see what he has in mind. Hopefully it's something cute or matches the island theme. While Tater Tot is cute, it's not exactly the witchy fall vibe nickname I'm going for. But now I have to think of a good nickname. Okay, so I couldn't actually think of a great nickname, so we're just gonna go with Bud in hope that sometime in the future he's gonna ask for a new nickname, and by then I should have a good one. I should start writing some ideas down. Time for a map update. I think I like these locations that I have mapped out for 4 houses already. Now we need to see if there's enough room for pathing in between the houses. Let's do a rough layout of the pathing to the neighborhood to see that everything's gonna fit, and then once that checks out, we can start building the cliff. The final neighborhood won't have this dirt pathing. I haven't decided if I want to use the stone pathing or the weathered brick pathing, so this is just gonna be a placeholder until I figure that out. Or one could be patio pathing and the other could be the neighborhood pathing. That way I can use both of them in the neighborhood. Think I might go with that one. I believe we have enough room for the pathing, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started building the cliff. While I was coming up with ideas for the new neighborhood layout, I also think I finished the planning for the rest of the island. I think I have finished the villager lineup, which will include one of every personality type so that way I can get all of the reactions, and I've updated the Pinterest board to reflect these new villagers that I want. I also believe I have planned out every build that we are going to do on this island, including the villager houses that won't be in the neighborhood and have their own shops. I'm not going to share what those build plans are right now, just in case anyone doesn't want any spoilers and wants to find them out as we're doing them, but if you do want to know, I guess let me know in the comments and maybe I'll tell you a little bit sooner. I should also mention that none of these plans are set in stone. I mean, I haven't even built them yet, so if you have ideas that you think would be great on this island, go ahead and let me know. I might just add them in. I've also had this other idea where I kind of want to build an entire island on stream with your help, but I need to focus on just one island at a time, so I think I'll save that for maybe after we finish this island or maybe even after another. Anyway, with all this planning that I've done, I have come to the conclusion that Bones will actually not be living on our island permanently. I really want Lucky on our island, and I think 2 dogs is a bit much. That would also bring our total lazy villager count up to 3, which is too many. I've got a portion of the cliff built for the neighborhood, and I think it's a great size, but I do think it's a little close to the beach, so I plan to move this back a bit before adding in the rest of the cliff. Before I move the neighborhood cliff back a little bit, I actually am going to start removing the old neighborhood cliff to make more room for the new neighborhood cliff. It'll hopefully all make sense later. Also, at some point, I will need to go talk to Tom Nook and have that incline demolished, and then we'll also put another one in, but we could probably worry about that later, since I'm not exactly sure what build will be going in place of the old neighborhood. So we'll probably be placing an incline in the new neighborhood first before we put one back here. I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll catch you at the new cliff. I don't think I'll need to extend this cliff back that much. I'm hoping just 2 tiles will be enough. After I decide on how far back I want this cliff to go, I'm gonna start building it out towards the left side, but only the back half portion will be extended out to the left side, so that way it'll make that L shape I was talking about earlier. I'm just hoping I can execute my idea well. Hold on. I feel like the most balloons show up when you're building, and I've let a few of them go because I was busy, so I can't let this one go. Hopefully it has something good. Oh my gosh, 5,000 bells? It was getting a little dark, so I time traveled to the next day, but let's check out what I've done with the neighborhood so far. I moved, I think it was Gonzo's house, to the beach so that way it wasn't in our way, and pushed the cliff way back so it no longer reaches the beach. But let's head up to the bridge so we can do a proper walkthrough. I ended up removing all that pathing that I placed down because when I moved the cliff, it no longer fit the pathing, so I'm gonna have to redo that one. But I am very happy with how this layout turned out. The neighborhood layout is still the same as it was earlier, I just gave everyone a little bit more room. In this little nook where I'm going to be climbing up to the 2nd level is where I want to put the new incline. And up here on the 2nd level, I already have the next 2 houses marked out too. I went with this layout on the upper cliff to give these 2 houses unique yards and break up any repetition. Here's a map view of how the neighborhood is looking. I'm loving this layout a lot more already, so I think we can go ahead and start decorating it, which we'll start by moving Rodeo into the new neighborhood. So I think I've already grown quite attached to Rodeo, and I think he's going to be my favorite villager on this island, so for those reasons, I'm gonna put him as the first house in this neighborhood. Okay, this is actually making me really excited to start building the neighborhood. This was definitely a good decision to just redo the whole neighborhood. I'm so much happier already. Pretty much, I'm going to make Rodeo's yard look exactly the same as it did in the old neighborhood, but I'm going to be changing the pathing for his little patio. Still haven't decided if I'm going to be using the stone pathing or if I'm going to be using the brick pathing for the patios, but we can always change this later. I kind of need to see it first anyways before I make any decisions. But I did find this pattern that I thought would be really cute as a rug in Rodeo's yard, and maybe even the cushion cover for some pillows. I'll show you what it looks like in a couple of seconds. I just want to finish this row of pathing first before I start playing around with the rug. Or at least trying to make a rug. Good enough. It's rug time. I'm not sure how big it's gonna need to be, so I'm gonna just place this down, put the furniture on top, and then remove whatever tiles I don't need. If you were wondering if Biddy and I still had beef, we do. She still follows me around kind of everywhere, and I'm not sure why or when it's gonna stop. I mean, I've barely even talked to her since she moved in here. Maybe she's just looking for the right time to ask me to move out. But Biddy, you don't have to wait. Any time is the right time. I'm almost done laying all of this pathing down for Rodeo's patio, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place the fencing, but I won't make you sit through that since we already know how to place fencing and it's gonna be nothing new. But I'll bring you back in for when we start decorating since I don't think you've seen the new customized furniture that we've got for his yard. I hope he's gonna like this new makeover, though I'm pretty sure he's going to enjoy it. The fencing is done, and now we can go ahead and start placing Rodeo's furniture back in his yard. I will also say I'm not the biggest fan of this tea set that we gave Rodeo, but I'm not sure what to put here instead. I've got the last few items placed in his yard, and I'm not sure about this rug size, so I'm gonna play around with a couple different sizes and see which one I like best. Actually, I've already decided I don't like the look of the smaller rug, so we're gonna go back to being a square rug. I'm also hoping to find the bench version of these chair DIYs so that way he can have a bench where the chair without the cushion is. Now I'm just checking to make sure that you can actually walk through here, though it might be a different story once the house is actually in place. Let's actually time travel to see what that would look like right now. Here we are on probably our last snowy day on this island. I feel like we've done so much today, so we're gonna go take a quick look at Rodeo's house and then I'm gonna be done for the day. Thanks so much for hanging out while we built the neighborhood again on this island. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye!